Yeah, for the two offensive guys, putting the turnovers aside, what did you guys think were the challenges on the offensive side today?
Shoot, the challenge was us. We just had to get our own ways, and by the time we kind of figured it out, it was kind of too late, you know. So that's just a game of football. So we got to capitalize early. We can't start slow, and clearly we started slow, and the result was 7-23. We got to help the defense out.
Yeah,
Got the best linebacker to the left of me and the best corner in the draft to the right of me. So it's kind of the amount of times they give us the ball. Shoot, we got to capitalize, and shoot, we just failed them tonight. So that's more on us than them. So defense gave us a fighting chance every time. So that's all you can ask for.
Uh, I'd say it's crazy for real. Like just seeing the growth of the program. Like first year being 3-9, and like it was bad. But like now we upset by 4 losses. Like it just I feel like that just shows the change of the culture here. That all these guys and people in the locker room that just the standard here just changed. So I definitely say that's the standards of the whole building. Just we just all following Coach Kenny, and we just trusting him, and everything just rising for sure. It's a great feeling. Just knowing the impact that the guys made, just seeing me, especially me, seeing it like from year one to now, it's crazy. It's just a great feeling though, for sure.
For the defensive guys, you guys could kind of tell, knowing going into the game, that Arizona was going to throw a lot of these kind of 8 to 12 yard passing plays. What did you guys see from their offense that was kind of maybe giving you guys some troubles or things you had to work through a little bit?
I would say just like I think early on it was a matter of just understanding what they were gonna come out with. Like I would say like they run what they run, but kind of a flavor of the weak team in some areas. So with that we were just the first I want to say like first 2-3 drives. I wanted to come out there and just get our feet right. Kind of understand get an understanding of how they were gonna try to play us, attack us today. And I feel like once we got settled in, for the most part, we were able to come out there and deliver some good stops and just play some good defense.
And then Coach mentioned as well playing a lot of minutes for you guys, having a lot of snaps, playing almost 40 minutes or so. How does that kind of take a toll on your guys' bodies over the game, or how you guys feeling like in the third quarter versus in the first playing that many snaps?
I mean, it's what come with it, man. Like it's over the course of the season, like we found ourselves like in like on the field a lot, and so it's a matter of just acclimating, adjusting, and like I mean at the end of the day, back against the wall, like not letting them score, regardless of if we out there 40 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 plays, 60 plays, 40, whether it's a lot of players or none at all. Like we just know to go out there and give our all. That's just what it is.
Hi, it's Aya Abney for Devils in Detail. Oh, wait. I think it's not working. Hold on. It's now working. Okay, perfect. It's Aya Abdeen for Devils in Detail. I have two questions for you. From having a tougher schedule in the season to dealing with injuries to notable starters, how do you describe this type of season while still being short of expectations in a Big 12 championship game?
It just showed that we fighters. At the end of the day, like we had I think like 6 people from our leadership council, like out for the season. And like Coach Diddy was just saying, like a lot of teams, like honestly, with how it happened and when it did, and how we got hit with all our stuff, as early as it did, like most teams could have easily we went out there and not won no more games, like. But it just showed the fight. It like Coach Diddy was just saying, it showed the type of people that we brought in here. Just the collective amount of people. It just showed a standard that was that was set over the last 2 years. And like I said, I think it just shows that although the season, like Keith just said, we made about 4 wins. Like just 2 years ago, this team like it was not even close. So just looking at stuff like that, you got to understand like that's that ultimately like we created this. That's what it's about. You know, and you know, although we lost today, you know, looking back on it, you know, I think we all got something to be proud about.
And another question coming from you guys: how special was it to have Cam Scatterboo as a special guest on the court before the game?
It was great, just seeing the impact that Scat has on the community, on the fans, on the whole Sun Devil Nation. It was great just having him back, having his energy there. Yeah, it was great.
Jacob Brooks, Sun Devil Source. Shaman, question for you. There was a moment when you were walking up during the Devil's Walk with Malik McClain and Jeff Sims, and you yelled out three-man band, and then the three of you guys walked up together. What has your bond with them meant to you during your time here?
I mean, shoot, those my brothers at the end of the day, shoot. We came in here, we all got similar stories, shoot. And I could call on them whenever. Shoot, we text every day. They got my location, I got their location. I see everywhere they go. They see everywhere I go. So if they doing something at night that I know they not supposed to be doing, I know. So it's just that's the bond, we got. So at the end of the day, shoot, I know the type of guys they are. I see the type of work they put in. Shoot, those guys I can rely on. Shoot, same with these guys to my right or left. And some of the guys, like we just spoke about injuries during this. Are you injured or you hurt? Can you play through it or can you not? And unfortunately, we had a lot of guys that's key players on the team that couldn't play through it. For example, Xavier Alford, that's the leader in the back end of the safety room. We missed him. Shoot, that's big impact. He goes down. It's like, okay, who we look to? We look to Boogie. He go down today. Damn, who we got to throw in? Kyan. What he had? 9 tackles. First time he ever played. Like, what? We're gonna keep fighting back against the wall. Yeah, we got fighters at the end of the day. So shoot, just imagine them guys that we had missing Ben. We got freshmen in Makai Stewart. He hasn't played. Like, we're going to work with guys that haven't had the experience, but we know they're fighters, and we got each other back. So back to your question, 3-man band. Jeff Sims get all the hate in the world, but shit, he shows up and work every day. So at the end of the day, I respect the guy. I give anything to him. If he needed it, and I got it, he got it. That's just how it goes. Same with Malik. Shoot, if Malik ain't feeling the play, I ain't feeling it either. So we all gonna argue about it. Shit, I'll die behind Malik. So I'll die behind the group of all these guys too. Shoot, K1 know it's time to work at practice. Crook do the same thing. Like, it's still a brotherhood at the end of the day. So we just look to get better at the end of the day.
Ball, very good.
Yeah, Malik, is there anything you could say about your connection with Jeff Sims, just based off of that?
Man, my guys, we all cut from the same cloth. We got the same story in ways. A lot of the guys that's on this team got the same story in ways too. And I feel like we all cut from the same cloth. That's why we fight so hard for each other. This whole season, just leading up to this point, K1, going against him every day, he got me so much better. Like, he'll never even understand. Going against Crook, he really not trying to get blocked at all. Like, for real. Like, he don't want you to touch him, Shaman, he trying to see red, play one. We come in practice, we tired. He trying to take somebody to the bar off the rip. So, just being cut from the same cloth with these guys is blood in, blood out.
Couple back there, Aiden, and then get it over to Jake.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple for all of you guys. You've all been through different paths in your football career. Malik, you played at one of the biggest brands in the entire sport. Why is Arizona State different than every other college football team in the country?
The culture.
Yep.
100%.
Facts.
I think we all this team full of people that came from other places, old schools. We all came from, a past school. I could just say it's truly different. To be around a collective group of people. Like, a lot of teams preach family, like they scream family, but it's not really. I think that's just what people say. Like, but really, I feel like here, like it's showed. Like, your coach is gonna call you every day. Like, they gonna ask you how you doing. Like, it don't even have to be none with football. Like, from the top down, like you can just see like everything here is ran the right way. Like, it's really a family culture. Like, everybody really care about each other. Everybody really hang out with each other outside of this. Like, like I said, it's people that came from past teams, and I'm sure they can agree with me. Like, it's not always the same. It's different. So I can really honestly say, like, the culture here, like, the type of love that we got for each other, you know, and you know from the top down, like it's just you can see, you know, everybody here like they're here for each other. They want to be here for each other. Our coaches really care. Like it's not all just about ball. Like you could tell, like we can walk in the facility and talk to anybody, walk in anybody's office, any coach. You know, you can sit down and laugh and talk with them. Like it's not like that everywhere. Like honestly, it's not. So, you know, I think that's just what I'm like me in particular. What I'm most grateful for. You know, and thankful for, you know, over my journey these last 2 years. Like, you know, these people, they really do care.
We hanging out after this?
Continue with Jake. Only time for a couple more. We gotta let these guys loose.
For any of the four of you, given that there's still a bowl game to go, do any of you feel the need to say something to Jeff to pick him up after tonight? Or if not, what about his character has you convinced that he will bounce back for this last game?
I believe Jeff has the character trait of picking himself up. I mean, you open social media trying to bring him down, and some way he still finds a way to show up every day, go to work with his head down, and shoot, like you said, like it's nothing. He could bounce back regardless, you know. Like you said, he got his three brothers next to him regardless. Like, sure, I'm probably going to leave this locker room. He probably already going to be at my house. It's just like that. Like, our connection. Man, football can only last so long, man. Like, you can only dwell so much on certain things. Like, next play mentality, next game mentality. Like, at the end of the day, we got to attack it the same way we attack every other game, you know. Same preparation. Prepare like you the starter every week, and, you know, just go out there and execute at the same time, you know. Sure, we got to be better. We're going to be better. So it's just another learning lesson at the end of the day. So, sure, this won't phase him. He better than that.
I guess for you guys who may apply to your final game at this field, what's kind of your guys' viewpoint of where the program's headed and the guys that could carry this thing on?
Just continue to support this football team. I think Kenny does a great job of setting the culture right, setting the standard. You know, like he said 2 years ago, there was bottom of the barrel. This year, shoot, only, what you say? In the past 30 years, it's only been 2 teams to achieve 20 wins. And shoot, we got 19 right now. Shoot, we got one more game to make it happen. Do history as well. So I think the program is in good hands and under control. And shoot, we got vital pieces returning next year that could be a focal point. You know, you got the Jalen Mosses, the Jaron Hamiltons that need to grow, and they're going to grow, and, you know, they're going to be the guys, you know. And you got guys on defense like Ronnie Bimmich that's going to be a guy. You know, C.J. Fice that's going to be guys. Like, we still got guys at the end of the day. Shoot, if I get another year, shoot, I'll be back here, do it again. Shoot, me?
Nah, for real.
Shit. But, you know, just continue supporting our football team. You know, at the end of the day, man, wins and losses, they're going to come, but it's just how you bounce back and respond. So I think our main goal this year has just been refocusing. You know, it's just like kind of lost sight of that at some point in the season, and it kind of shows. So it's just about relocking in, you know, like this group of real guys, you know, we do a good job of that, you know, lining up before the play, say, let's work. Like, you know, let's set the friendship aside, let's work, you know. Like you said, Crook ain't trying to get blocked, but I'm seeing red, so it's either me or him. Like, somebody got to lose. So I'm saying, like, one-on-one battle's going to make us better, you know. Shoot, he make him better, he make me better, I make him better. It's just, you know, vice versa at the end of the day. So how can we all benefit from each other at the end of the day?
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.